Hey, guys, we are back for our fifth conversation. I must first raise my vibration and give thanks to my Father who has graciously given me the spirit to breathe life into so many of you. If you are new to the podcast, I encourage you to listen to the first 7 episodes as they provide guided insight. Each episode continues from the previous one. I'm going to continue to share new perspectives. In this episode, I want to continue our conversation about awakening. When I began to awaken, I wanted to know who I was. I noticed that those who mirrored my image were eccentric. We are the most oppressed and have the most unfortunate livelihoods in most of the world. We lack a sense of belonging and have a unique way of thinking. We can be the most religious people on the planet. Why? One thought led to another thought, and another thought, and another thought, and another thought. Boy, all those thoughts. I started to journal and do some research for myself. I began to ask questions in my mind and ponder my existence, and it led me on a path of self-reflection. A small, still voice spoke to me and said, to understand the end, you must understand the beginning. Well, that didn't make any sense. How do you start at the beginning of something if you're at its end? Some of you may attest to experiencing the same thing. Do you shake your head and disregard the thought? Or do you think about it more to discover its meaning? For those of us who are less likely to do research, you discount the thought. But me, I like challenging, things that puzzle me. Sometimes I can go too deep and finding balance can get the best of me. Anywho, I had to learn that some thoughts aren't my own. There are other entities who want you to realize reality. You do know that, right? Well, I'll allow you to give your own perspectives to that last statement. Most of us believe in an energy higher than ourselves, but are too afraid to share those moments with others. Well, I'm not. I will go as deep as you allow me to. Listen, life is coming to an end as we know it. Church leaders teach about spiritual writings, about heaven and hell, but do they really understand its writings and aerial existence? Truthfully, most of us don't. The Bible isn't a book to take lightly, but it is also a book you can't speak of literally either. My belief is it is more allegorical than anything. Although I did start with the Bible to understand spirituality, I could never attain true freedom. I was always praying, fasting, and spiritual warfare, and I honestly got tired. Did you know you could drop a bomb on your enemy and awaken spirits you didn't have to entangle with? Boy, let me tell you, that is a whole other conversation. I learned to stop pushing and pulling negative energy. I started to raise my vibration. It's what I did. I want you to raise your vibration as well. To stop seeking without and go within. Become aware of what surrounds you, but you won't have to fight everything and everybody. Be paranoid, superstitious, or cover yourself consistently in blood daily. Yeah, I said that. When you know, you know. So, Chameleon, what truly keeps me invisible? Raise your vibration to overstand negative energy. The word descended into our realm to awaken those in the Father's lineage. Then he exited to rise above those considered an enemy to putting on his way of thinking. Think about it. Why are your circumstances the way they are? Why are you eccentric, oppressed, the less fortunate, and have to fight to acquire peace from all those who consider themselves your enemy? Should you be mimicking the mindset of, well, I can't name your energy for you. You must do your research. Some of these things can only be spiritually revealed. I told you not all your thoughts are yours, remember? I'm only here to drop a few nuggets to get you to change your way of thinking, to awaken you. Give you a different perspective. You know, not everyone would arrive at the same destination with the same thought process, but we all have the same desired end. We all have questioned where my soul will end up after the body expires. Will you return to your original destination? You do know you are already immortal living in a carcass called a body. Oh boy, You weren't created to generate wealth, to live as well, you put your title there. It is nice to enjoy affluenza, but what happens when you leave the body? You can't take any of this with you. Solomon said, a fool may inherit it. We've already defined the meaning of that word, haven't we? If you haven't heard the previous conversation, listen to it. We speak of leaving our descendants an inheritance. But what good is it if your child is a prodigal or foolish? All things are wasted. Vanities of vanities, my favorite quote. That's another conversation for a different day. We'll revisit it soon, I promise. Well, we'll continue to ponder who we are. I'll leave you to think about all that I've put into this conversation. As always, don't put too much thought into it. Allow yourself to sit in silence, hear your conscience, and always follow your first mind. You know what that means. You can eliminate failure if you purposely choose to cultivate yourself. I told you before, you create your reality, and your karma returns in the form of what you put into the atmosphere. Your deeds, words, and experiences, all called seeds you've sown inadvertently. You've heard the wise say, you reap what you sow and inherit the hidden iniquities of your forefathers. In the womb, your avatar is cultivated with your mother's emotions and your father's sins. Oh boy, we come out wrapped in sin, born in iniquity. You are docked into this world of sin, shaped with your parents' iniquity. You know those hidden gray areas we want to hide from others? They show up in your children. If you read your Bible, you will find it says the enemy visits the sins of the father down to the 4th generation. Now that is for another conversation as well. We'll get into it, baby steps. The thoughts you think do enter the universe and take on the form of what you were thinking. So be careful. It isn't good to think those thoughts even if you don't speak them. Oh boy. It doesn't matter if it is positive or negative. If it happens to be about someone else or you hope to acquire something, it's coming to pass. It all takes form, believe it or not. Growing up, we would say, if you think something bad, just don't say it. Or, it is better to think it but not say it. I have been educated to know that if you think it, it can enter the mind of someone else and be manifested or do more harm to those whom you thought about than speaking it. Boy, we have been deceived. Doesn't matter what it is. I'm aware thoughts are more powerful than words. Why do you think I keep telling you guys to spend time with yourself, to reflect on the thoughts you are thinking? You're manifesting your own reality. If you fail to be intentional with your thinking, telepathically, someone is receiving what you are emitting, positively or negatively. Some of your dreams or inventions were created by someone else because you only conceived the thought and were too timid to bring it into reality. If you read your Bible, you will find it says the enemy visits the sins of your father, down to the 4th generation. Now that is for another conversation. I'm not here to teach you Bible, but I do want you to read it, even if you don't understand it. It works to change you without your consent. Remember, it isn't a book you should take literally, but you should read the book in its entirety. We'll talk about this more in the coming episodes. Religion is one of my favorite subjects. Boy, do I read everything. We shall visit all of my idiosyncrasies and spiritual reads as we continue our conversation. Until next time, keep intentionally thinking about what you think about. Don't forget to share these conversations. Someone else needs to hear it. Talk to you soon.